Hey folks, Chris here with the Crabapple Cottage. We're getting ready to go thrift store shopping. I love hitting thrift stores for all kinds of stuff, but especially for prepping and homesteading related items. So let's go thrifting.
Okay, so the first stop is the kitchen tools, and there's several things here that you can look for. One is can openers, and I found 5 or 6 different can openers ranging in price from $1.99 to $3.99. Obviously, in your food stockpile, if you have a lot of canned goods like I do for short-term food supplies, you'll need to have a can opener and several backup can openers, because you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you have plenty of food to eat but no way to get to it. So be careful though with anything in a thrift store. You don't know how well they work. Why these can openers ended up here, you know, who knows? It could be because somebody got an electric can opener, or it could be that they don't work very well. So look at the brands, look at how well they're made, that sort of thing, and make a decision on whether or not that's something that you want to purchase. I might buy 1 or 2 of those just to try out. Some other things to look for, at least that I look for, are barbecue equipment and long cooking equipment. So something like this really long spatula would be good for cooking over an open fire. It is aluminum, so it's not super durable, but it has a very long handle, so that's really nice for cooking over a fire. Something else that I look for is grates. Here's a variety of different sizes of metal grates. Those can be used over open flames. I'm looking for something a little bit bigger actually to go over my fire bowl, so I'm not going to purchase these, but that is an option. Other things you can find are like this apple peeling machine. Now I already have an apple peeler and it's a little more durable, cast iron. This one here is plastic, so probably not something I would buy, but you can look for similar items at your thrift store. Other things to look for include old-fashioned manual kitchen tools. This is a chopper with a wooden handle. It's probably from the 40s or 50s. It would be something that I would be interested in, except for the fact that it's $19.99, because it's, I guess, considered an antique. So that's kind of a ridiculous price. I would never ever pay that much for something like that, but I do look out for those. Another thing to look out for is thermometers. This one is an oven thermometer that hangs on an oven rack. It does have a crack across the screen, so again, probably not something I would buy for $1.99, but you do want to have several oven thermometers. These are good for if you end up doing something like cooking in a smokehouse or any sort of fire where you need to kind of regulate the temperature a little bit. An oven thermometer can be good for some sort of home-built cooking device. I'm specifically thinking of a smokehouse. I might try my hand at cold smoking or something like that, and so having an oven thermometer would help me out in that process. Those are a couple things that I found here in the kitchen supplies, and we'll keep looking. Yay! I have been looking for a medium-sized cast iron skillet. Here's one in really good condition. $9.99. It's been oiled, as you can see. Doesn't look like it's been used much. Not a name brand, but still nice cast iron skillet, and it's the size that I've been looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I keep finding cast iron. Look at this, guys. I got a smaller one here. $6.99. This one, $12.99, and then the first one I picked up, $9.99. So I need to think about this. I'm just going to carry them all around until I figure it out. Okay, here we have a variety of water bottles. We've got, this looks like glass with a silicone outer sleeve. This one's plastic. This one and this one are both metal. Now this one is a double-walled metal. It's pretty heavy, so it's got 2 layers of metal with air in between. This one, however, is single-wall. This is something that you can actually boil water in directly over a fire once you remove the lid. So if I was going to pick one of these water bottles, I would actually pick this one because, like I said, you can boil water in it. I talk about this quite a bit, but here's another chafing dish. This one is $10.99. These are made to have either like a large candle or actually canned heat underneath there, and you can easily heat up stew or anything like that over that. So nice prep to have. I know some people pick up used pressure cookers. I was thinking this is a canner, but I think it's just a pressure cooker. But they kind of terrify me. I actually just got my first pressure canner for Christmas, and I haven't used it yet. And I thought about getting a used one, but that just is a little scary for me. So definitely gonna pass on that. Now here's a pan you could use as a canner, a water bath canner, but $10.99 is a bit more than I want to pay. I actually have a water bath canner. I could probably use another one, but I'm not going to pay that much for that one. Here's a ball jar for 99 cents, although I can get them cheaper, so I'm not going to get that. A couple little hanging jars for $1.99 each. Might be kind of nice, actually, to put like a tea light in here and something that you can carry around. I know, I'm tempted, but I feel like I could get one at the dollar store for $1. So half the price. I think I'm gonna pick them up. And then I'll think on it, and if I decide to bring them back, I'll bring them back for store credit. Bunch of flashlights, looks like a battery-powered lantern. These are kind of iffy. I don't think I'm gonna get them. This one's interesting. Yeah, I'm not gonna get any, but you know, that's an option. You might check the section out, you might find something good. Talk about medical equipment, durable medical equipment, and a good place to pick that stuff up is thrift stores. Here you got some canes, several pairs of crutches. What else we got down here? Looks like maybe a stretching boot, various types of padding and braces. Over here we've got toilet seat covers. Yeah, so just a few random medical things. Let's see, I saw some more over here. Here we've got basically a whole thing of adult diapers. You see these a lot of times where older people are using them, or people who are ill and then they pass away and the leftover packages end up at the thrift stores. So a bunch of those. On the other side, we've got some other stuff over here. Looks like there's maybe like a walking boot down there. I did see this sling for your arm, but they want $10 for it, which seems excessive for a youth sling, but something to think about. So, variety of medical stuff there too. Got this big bag of travel soaps, a ton of them, for 69 cents. I'm gonna pick that up. These would be good in a bug out bag or something like that. If you're just getting started and you need a bug out bag, you can look at Goodwill or places like that and find one. This one here is an old Nike bag for $8.99. I have a bug out bag, so don't need it, but this is a pretty good sized bag actually. Spot for a water bottle. It's got some straps on the outside where you can attach stuff, so it's actually a pretty nice bag. I'm gonna pass, but definitely check out thrift stores for bug out bags. Fun bit of fiction there. Post-apocalyptic fiction, but probably not something my son will read, so I'm not gonna grab it. It'd be $2.99. Bunch of different sewing supplies and craft supplies, embroidery hoops. Let's see here. Those are huge. How big those needles are. Knitting needles. A whole box of knitting needles. If you see my other videos, you know I like knitting needles. I actually am looking for a pair of size 10 needles, so I think I'm going to dig through this box, see if I find a pair of size 10, number 10 needles. I like the aluminum ones. I think they look pretty cool. So let's see what else. I'm going to dig through those. We've also got ribbon over here. Let's see. We've got over here, looks like patterns. Although you're probably just as good to take an existing set of clothing and make a pattern. Over here we've got fabric. Over here we've got yarn. So if you're into sewing, there's some sewing machines. If you're into sewing or want to learn any sort of new skills, you can maybe check some of the thrift stores. Hey guys, just got done with first thrift store. Found some cast iron pans. Pretty excited about that. So I'm going to go to at least one more, maybe some more. And this next one is a Goodwill outlet. If you're not familiar with Goodwill outlets, essentially it's where they just bring everything out in a bin and then you pay for things by weight. So it's kind of hectic. It's a little bit crazy.
Sometimes I wear gloves, sometimes I don't wear gloves. I'm sort of a tactile person, so I don't often have a lot of luck there, honestly. I find it a little bit too cutthroat. But we're gonna go and see if we find anything. All right.
I have been seeing some blackout curtains. This is not $9.99. You actually pay by the pound, but yeah, I'm gonna pass. But here's what the bins look like, in case you're not familiar. And you pay for everything by the pound.
Whew, okay, so we're done there. Done at the Goodwill outlet. I didn't stay too long. I think I was there for less than an hour. I have a meeting I have to go to for work, so I gotta go home, get cleaned up, and then I will try to get this stuff organized and finish up the video. This is what I found in my trip. As I showed you in my videos, I saw a lot of things I didn't need or were pricier than more than I wanted to pay. But this is what I ended up bringing home. Okay, let's start with housewares, kitchenwares, because I've got quite a bit of that. So I found, as I showed you, I went to the Goodwill outlet where I paid for things by the pound, and I believe it was, let me check here, $1.49 a pound for most things. It was 69 cents a pound for books. So I walked out of there spending $31. A lot of the things I got actually weren't thrift store or weren't prepping and homestead related. I got some furniture that's gonna go in my garden, some things I might resell on eBay or Etsy, some things like wrapping paper still in the plastic, some Halloween decorations, some things for people for gifts, some books for gifts, stuff like that. But I did find some homesteading and prepping related things, so I will go ahead and show you everything I found both at the Goodwill outlet and at the other thrift stores that I visited. So I found this giant metal bowl. I don't think it's aluminum. I can't remember if this is steel or what this is. Anyways, I think it's aluminum. So anyways, I have a whole bunch of these. I have a big collection of them, and I even have a bowl that's probably this size, maybe a tad smaller. And you don't think you're going to use something this big, but if you do any sort of processing of garden produce, whether you're dehydrating or freezing or canning, man, you use bowls. Like just when I was doing my tomatoes this summer, I had pounds and pounds, I mean like 40 pounds of tomatoes sitting around, and that's just because I just didn't have the space or the bowls literally to process any more than that. So it was a great find to pick this up for $1.49 a pound. I don't know how much this was, probably $3, maybe 2 pounds, probably less than that, probably 2 pounds, so $3. I also found this aluminum camp pot. I have a whole bunch of aluminum cookware. I actually like aluminum. I know aluminum's not good for you, yada yada, but I've done some research on it, and aluminum is found in tons of things. We all consume aluminum every day, and in most cases it's not going to harm you because we're getting trace amounts. So anyways, I did find this aluminum cook pot, and I do have a lot of aluminum camp pots already, mess kits, things like that I use in my camping supplies, but they're a lot smaller. This pot was a nice big size, so I can boil water on a camp stove or even over a fire. Aluminum obviously is not as durable as cast iron, but it's still a pretty good material for doing outdoor cooking. So I did pick this up. This, let's see if it is a vintage. It's from Toledo, Ohio. I'm in Ohio, so it's a local brand. It's a commercial grade pot. So that's really nice for doing some processing. I might use that for my black walnut syrup. I'm going to try to make some black walnut syrup this year, and I need some big containers to boil it down so I have a lot going at once. So I did pick that up. Like I said, I cook in a lot of aluminum, vintage aluminum. I just like it. This is just a basic 8x8 pan. I have several of these, but sometimes if you're bulk cooking, you need more. And that's actually something that I want to do a little bit more of. These are 3 loaf pans, and these were $1.99 for 3. So I will probably, I got a lot of ground beef from a friend who has a farm, and they process their own beef, or raise their own beef. Somebody else processes it, and so I think I'm gonna make some meatloafs and put them in the freezer. So having extra pans that I can just put the dinner in, the meatloaf in this case, wrap it up, stick it straight in the freezer, and then when it's time to cook it, I can just pull it out and let it defrost and then stick it in the oven. So I did pick these up for $1.99. I did pick up another muffin pan. I've got, again, I think I have a couple of 6-hole aluminum muffin pans, but I wanted another one. So again, I could do some bulk cooking, like acorn flour muffins and things like that I've been trying to make more of. So I did pick that up. And again, this was $1.49 a pound, so less than $2 for this. I'm not good with judging weight. I found, you guys, as I showed you earlier on, I found cast iron. Now this makes me super excited because cast iron is super expensive, even in thrift stores. People know what they have nowadays, so they mark up the prices. And this pan I showed you in another video of a thrift store haul. This is a Pioneer Woman pan, I think 6-inch, and I can't remember what I paid for this. Maybe, I think $7.99. And this is my first piece of cast iron. I haven't actually had a chance to use it yet. I've just been super distracted, but I did need some other size pans. So when I was at a thrift store the other day, I found another 6-inch pan, but this one is definitely vintage. It's not, it doesn't have like the gate mark on the back. It's not like, you know, pre-1880 or anything, but it's definitely a vintage pan. It's deeper than the Pioneer Woman pan. It's just a better quality. It's got a smoother surface. It's been cooked in, whereas the Pioneer Woman pan is still rough because it doesn't seem to have been used. So this pan is really nicely seasoned. I'm pretty excited for this pan. And it is not marked. It could be Wagner ware, but I don't know. And then, oh, that was $6.99. And then this pan needs a little bit of work. It's got a little bit of rust. It's not too bad though. But again, really nice patina on it, super smooth, nice and deep. This is a number 8 10-inch pan, and I'm pretty sure this is unmarked Wagner ware. Wagner ware is an Ohio company that made really quality cast iron pans, and this appears to be unmarked Wagner ware. This is a little bit pricier, $12.99, but still for a 10-inch skillet, vintage, it's probably, I think I looked it online, and these were selling for like $70. So that was a nice find. I was pretty excited to find that. There was one other cast iron pan that I found, but I ended up leaving it there. It was, I can't remember, 12-inch maybe? It was a little too heavy. It was newer. It was not as nice a quality as these vintage pans. These vintage pans are super nice because of the patina and the smoothness, and I'm excited to use those. I also found a few canning jars. These were 69 cents each, so canning jars are usually a little over $1 each when you buy them like a 12-pack. It depends on the size of the jar, I guess. But these were 69 cents each, and they have bands and what appear to be new lids. So I did pick up these for 69 cents each. And then I found this one, which is a little bit older jar, for 49 cents. And then I actually found this ring in the Goodwill where you buy by the pound, so this was like a few cents. So yeah, so I found 3 canning jars. Like I said, you want to be careful. I saw places where they were selling canning jars for $1.99 each for a used canning jar, no lid. That's crazy. I also picked up another single wall metal water bottle. As I talk about in other videos, we recently got a Berkey, a travel Berkey, and we have dreadful iron well water, so we're trying to transition from bottled water to using our Berkey water. And part of that process is using reusable water bottles a little bit more. And while we do have a number of the plastic reusable water bottles, we're trying to switch to metal, because if you have this with you, or wherever you're at, you can boil water in the metal water bottles, directly in the bottles, to purify your water. So always good to carry your water in a single-walled metal water bottle. This was $1.99. I also got this, I believe I just measured it, 6-quart Revere Ware cookware. Revere Ware is what I got it for my wedding, you know, years and years ago, and that's what I generally have been using. This matches the rest of my set. It's a little bit older. This was $8.99, but the reason I got this is because I have an 8-quart pot and I have a 3-quart pot, and I find a lot of times I need the size in between. The 3-quart pot's not quite big enough for making spaghetti and stuff, and I find that when I use the 8-quart pot, I cook way too much. Even if I'm freezing some of it, it's just like, we do not, for a family of 2, we do not need 8 quarts of soup sometimes. It's just ridiculous. And I feel like I have to fill the pot whenever I cook in it. So this 6-quart pot will fill a niche that we had. Good quality aluminum with a copper bottom. It's actually, it's inside of there, copper clad, or aluminum clad copper bottom. Excuse me, $8.99 for that. Okay, what else did we find? That's all in kitchenwares. I did find this little plant stand. I could use this outdoors in the summertime or indoors. What I'll probably use it for is I have a number of house plants that I keep indoors in the wintertime and move outdoors in the summertime. So I've got a couple of citrus trees, a coffee plant, basically things that are edible. So I'll probably use this indoors for now and then outside in the summer. I also picked up this, excuse me, this folding rack. You should be familiar with these. They stand up like this. It's a drying rack. It latches. This is all wood. The white is actually just painted wood. And I have been looking for these. These can serve a number of purposes. If you have to air dry your clothes, you know, and it's cold out, you don't want to have to obviously hang things on the line. You can, but you probably prefer not to. So you can use a foldable rack like this to air dry things, especially underwear, socks, smaller things. You can do that inside. You also can use it to air dry herbs. You can tie bundles of herbs from it and place in a warm, dry area to dry. You can also use it in your garden as a makeshift trellis. You can actually dry pasta on it. So it's just a nice thing to have. I'm actually looking for more of these. I want to have a whole bunch so I can use them for different purposes. So I did pick up that. Let's see, what else did I find? I found a few tools. I got this really nice vintage pair of shears that is actually really sharp considering its age. I thought I saw Weiss inlaid. W-I-S-S. So a really nice pair of vintage shears that are very sharp. These are going to last a long time and you can just keep sharpening, unlike the cheap scissors that you get pretty much everywhere else. I also found a couple of clamps. Again, these were paid for by the pound, so little one was like $1 and maybe $2 for this one. So some nice metal clamps, and this appears to be some sort of a chisel or die processing tool, punch. So just a nice thing to have. Again, those older tools, especially the ones that are solid metal, are just a good thing to have. They're generally not going to break. They're going to last you forever. I mean, these are probably, you know, probably getting close to 100 years old, actually. So, good thing to have. I did pick up this bag of travel soaps, which I show you in the video. So 69 cents for this huge bag of travel soaps. We've actually taken some out. My son recently made some some care packages for the homeless. He was on a homeless kick, so he made those packages and passed them out. So we use some of those, but these are also really good soaps for your bug out bag, your get home bag, all that type of thing. Probably could even use them for barter if you needed to. If you also want to, you can probably melt them down and make more soap. So yeah, so these we picked up for 69 cents, these travel soaps. Good deal on that. Okay, let's talk about some other stuff. I did pick up these pairs of socks at Goodwill. These are $5.99 each, so not a super good deal. You will find them online. They're more expensive online. These are True Fit Super Soft Wool Blend socks. Extreme Thermal, 2 pairs per package for $5.99, so $3 a pair. What I like about these is that they have really stretchy openings, and I have what might be called cankles, so very thick calves. I'm sort of a stocky European peasant type, and these are about the only wool socks that don't constrict my ankles and calves. So like I said, I found a pair of these, or a pack of these, a month or two ago, and they work really well, so I picked up a couple more pairs. Like I said, you can find them online, but they're definitely more expensive than $5.99. So I did pick up a couple more pairs of those when I saw them. Goodwill often has brand new stuff still in the packaging that it's like they bought lots of stuff, and so they're selling it. Like right now in the winter, I've seen a lot of thermal underwear, socks, hats, gloves, gaiters, things like that. So check those out. You might find some deals. Obviously, it's not going to be as good of a deal as if it was used, but you still are going to find some discounted things. I did pick up 2 of those bandanas. They are, I would say, if not brand new, pretty dang close to it. This one especially. These are 100% cotton. They were 99 cents each. I did look online and you can get 100% cotton bandanas just like this at Hobby Lobby for, I think, 99 cents. So really not a deal, but I saw them. I needed a couple bandanas for my various bags, so I picked those up. Books. The books that I got at, I think most of them I paid for by the pound. And what did I say they were? 69 cents a pound. So the first one I got is this directory of knots. Super cool. I don't know much about knots. The only knots I can do are like when you double tie your shoes. I used to know more knots. I used to do some caving and rappelling and rock climbing. Not a lot of rock climbing. Lots of caving, but a little bit of rock climbing and rappelling. And so I did know other knots, but I've forgotten them because I haven't used them over the years. And a lot of videos that I watch on YouTube and stuff talk about these various knots. And so I thought, you know what, this is a good thing to have. It's really got great step-by-step pictures on doing various types of knots. So for 69 cents a pound, I thought this was a really great buy. Pretty excited about that. I found a copy of The Weekend Homesteader. This was 99 cents, so yay, pretty cool. I have a lot of, like, you know, urban homesteading, quarter-acre homesteading books. Always good to have another one to give you inspiration. I picked up the American Heritage College Dictionary. We have a couple of really old dictionaries, and when I say really old, I mean like I have one that's from 1813. I actually use that for my historical research because I am a historian. So like sometimes I can look up the definitions of antiquated words, kind of fun. But I was looking for a more modern dictionary to add to my preps for educational purposes because, as I've mentioned before, once if the grid were to go down and you have to do any sort of homeschooling, or if you need to look up a term in another book, like a medical text or something like that, having just an all-purpose big dictionary like this is a good thing to have. So I did pick that up for 69 cents a pound. That's pretty hefty, maybe 3 pounds. I also picked up this book. This was $2.99. I show you in another video a medical anatomy textbook that I picked up at Ollie's. But again, if you're trying to build a medical library, something like this is nice. This looks like it's probably a college or maybe a high school, advanced high school textbook. Big book, and it was $2.99, so I'm going to add that to my medical library. And again, like I mentioned in the Ollie's video, you can use that also for homeschooling your children if they're older children. The last book I picked up for 69 cents a pound was this adult coloring book. I'll put this down in my tornado shelter preps. I've showed you in other videos. I have games, card games and books and word searches and crossword puzzles and stuff like that. It's always good to have something to do to occupy your time if you are in a grid down situation and you have downtime. So it was 69 cents a pound, and it's less than a pound, obviously. Okay, light. Actually, let's do sewing first. I picked up another pair of knitting needles. These are the size 10 needles that I told you I was missing. I have a lot of the other sizes, and I needed a size 10. These are $1.99. Here's my jar of knitting needles. They will go nicely in there. I think they're pretty, so not only am I learning how to knit, but I also think they look really pretty. So got those for $1.99. That was a size I was missing. I also picked up this circular knitting needle for 99 cents. So this allows you to do knitting and where you need a larger number of stitches, like an Afghan or something like that. Again, I'm not at this stage yet. I'm still trying to learn basic knots. But for 99 cents, I thought, you know what, it's a good prep. I can put it in my knitting supplies, and I have it if I get to that stage. I also picked up this little jar. I show you this in the video. This is homemade. It's got a little pin cushion on the top. It's used as an old canning jar. Kind of a cool craft if you want to do something like this, where you just glue the fabric and the stuffing on the top of your lid, and then you put your pins in this. This was 99 cents, and like I said, I could make it probably for cheaper, but, well, actually the jar, you know, is 99 cents. Probably pay close to that for just the jar. But I was needing a pin cushion, and right now all of my pins, straight pins, are in a baggie, which is not the greatest thing, so this is a nice little pickup for 99 cents for my sewing supplies. I also picked up this my first weaving loom. This is a craft activity for kids, and it could be used as a craft activity. You can see here it's got a wooden loom frame with string, instructions, and this actually has some yarn. Looks like somebody started the process. It's got the shuttle in here. I might use this to kind of learn how to use a loom, but also I am the director of a Frontier Museum. It's a 1808 log cabin, and we do activities with children. So if I don't keep this for like my own children or somebody else, or just for teaching myself, it might be something fun that I can model for a craft activity for kids who come to the museum. So I picked that up again. This was $1.49 a pound, so probably less than $1 for that. Lighting. I picked up these 2 jars. These are kind of, aesthetically pleasing, but I figured they're also a really good way to put candles in and carry them around or hang them from things. So, especially if you need to go outside or you need to use a candle to light your way to go someplace, this is a good way to be able to carry it around or to hang it up. These were $1.99 each, and I think they're pretty. I'll probably actually keep them out in my house, and then that way they're all ready to go if I were to need that. I also picked up for $2.99 this metal candle holder, lantern with glass sides. The top comes off and you put your candle in there. This candle has definitely seen better days. I researched if you can still use old candles, and unless it's a soy candle, which expires, you can use petroleum-based candles or beeswax candles pretty much indefinitely. So I will either try to clean this candle up and reuse it, maybe melt it down to make a new candle, or like I said, at the museum we do crafts for children, and one of the things we do is candle dipping. But anyways, it comes with a candle. But for $2.99, I thought this was a nice lantern that you can use outside, protected from the wind, even protected from the rain. So it's pretty heavy. Pretty excited about that little purchase. And then lastly, I picked up this, what appears to be beeswax candle. It is very heavy. It's got 3 wicks on the top. It was $1.99. So, I tried, candles can be very expensive at the thrift stores for some reason. Even old icky candles are very expensive, at least in my thrift stores. And this one was $1.99, and there's a lot of wax here. So not only do I have a lot of burn time here, I can reuse the wax to make other types of candles. So just, I think, a really good deal per pound for the wax. This is probably 3 pounds of wax, beeswax. So that was a good deal. So that's what I ended up getting. As you know, I saw a lot of other things at the thrift stores, but those are kind of what I focused on to fill some of the holes in my preps and just things that I needed. So those are some of the things that I ended up bringing home, some of the other things that I'm kind of looking for, some of the things you might want to keep an eye out for. Thrift stores are a great place to look for items as long as you make sure you know what you're getting for the price. Just be careful of those prices, because I've seen lots of things at thrift stores that you can buy at the Dollar Tree. The same product, same brand and everything, costs $1 at the Dollar Tree, and they're charging $2 or $3 at the thrift store. It's like, so keep an eye on that. But yeah, definitely a place if you're a new prepper or a budget prepper like I am. Check out your thrift stores. So thanks so much for hanging with me, guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to up my subscribers. If you have any suggestions of other things that I can find at thrift stores, put a comment down below. So thanks so much, guys.